the house. He was not there when the incident occurred, and he's the only one in his family that's actually seeking for justice. That's how it looks like, because he's also looking for justice of how the son died, and we also want to know how he died. And if once I find out how he died, it's a win for me. So they should go and settle how they're going to resolve that issue with their family and friends and all stuff like that. So now, I am also going to bring out some other reason. Now, there's a part where, namely, you came up with the fact that how is it possible that MOHBAD had the same boxers, the same pants that he wore to the show? There's a place where WUNMI said, which I'm going to read out. I'm looking for it right here on the CTC, where in case if you have a copy, any one of us have a copy of a CTC, and if you can get that page for me, you can always help me out so fast, because I'm actually looking for the page where WUNMI said MOHBAD woke up at 1 p.m. He woke MOHBAD up at 1 p.m. after they got home. That was on Monday, 1 p.m. and MOHBAD went to take his shower. That's what I want to read. That's where I want to read from. I want to read word for word in the Prado. Just hold on, please. Where he said,
Postman, can I quickly say something before you move on to the next one? Yeah, I know you had the Nehimoli question earlier regarding if we were to assume that the guy was actually stabbed. How come there is no blood in the car? And then while they were trying to get into the hospital, how come there is no blood? I was going to say something that, what if, because in the first place, if somebody was in a really, really bad position, I don't think in the first place they would wait for the nurse outside of the country to come before they could give him medical attention in the first place. So what were they waiting for before taking him to the hospital? And secondly, there were 3 people sitting at the back of the car where MOHBAD was lying on their laps. I noticed this, If somebody was in a condition where they're trying to save his life, I would assume that the guy's hand, the guy that declared him dead in the car, the guy's hand was actually on his chest. Somebody that you're trying to protect his life, you're trying to save his life, I would expect that his hands will be behind his neck and raise his head up, rather than the position where we saw him in the video. To me, it seems like they were trying to cover something, because the guy was, judiciously guiding the chest. He was holding the chest down. Why was that? Because ideally, in a normal circumstance, you wouldn't be trying to save somebody's life, and you'll be pressing his chest down on the side, not even around his, where his heart is, right? I would expect him to, hold his neck up, trying to make sure that he stays alive, right? I don't know if you agree with me. And then also, there are 3 people sitting at the back of the car. If the guy has not, stiff, if the body hasn't stiff already, how did they get to lay him on their laps? If you understand, because if he was still alive, the body will be weak, the hand will be weak, everything, somebody has told us MOHBAD to be able to even fit him in the car will be so difficult. I don't know how they managed to place him properly, on their lap. 3 people sitting at the back of the car. So nobody knows why while they were waiting for the nurse to come all the way from Cotonou, what they had done. You understand? So if they were ideally trying to save his life, well, maybe something happened. Nobody knows. We weren't there. We're just speculating here, okay? But in an ideal situation, somebody that is between life and death, and you're trying to save his life, you wouldn't wait for somebody coming from elsewhere when there is a hospital like 25 minutes away from your house. You understand what I'm trying to say now? So there is a gameplay there. This story is not straightforward. That's why we've been calling her. If she was in a straight position, she would have come out to say, okay, let me clear the hair. This was what happened. Okay, why we were trying to do this, why we were trying to get the, this was what we were thinking. Okay, but at the end of the day, she was trying to remove herself from all these scenarios. You understand? This is where people were starting to think, no. This doesn't sound right. Like something is not right here. Okay, if you were in the situation, you were actually present throughout. You should be able to tell everybody to say, oh, this was what happened. Oh, no, don't get it wrong. This was what happened at this point. Oh, when we were trying to code in us, we were trying to do other things. You know, like, you should be able to say stuff. You should be able to explain. Like, say, for instance, now you have a child in the house. Say, for instance, there was an accident. The police had to come. You should be able to answer all questions that they'll be asking you. Oh, what did he eat? Oh, where were you? When was? Oh, maybe it was in the garden. It was in the bouncy castle. It was on the trampoline. Oh, I just heard the sound. Oh, you should be able to give them accounts in terms of what happened from A to Z without mincing your words. Because you were there. Look at, for instance, now, MOHBAD's dad, he wasn't there. But from day one, this man has been like, oh, they called me at around 4 p.m. Oh, I went to meet up with the mom. We were about to cross the whatever. Oh, they were calling the mom. Like, I was hearing their conversation. And then at some point, my phone rang. You should be able to tell your story without even mincing words. So, like I said, I'm not sure. I know this kind of analysis. I know that has been going on for a while now. But at this point, I don't even think analyzing stuff is even going to help anymore, rather than presenting facts. Okay, which Imoli has actually tried to do. Okay, even you see all these stories that she presented earlier. That I've said it all. Some of her story was showing yesterday. And then she said she celebrated the boy on her 5th month birthday. And that was when this guy passed. And things like that. That is, a good evidence enough for us to present. As a matter of fact, I'll be happy if all of this can be presented at BàRßT, like, for him to just see where we're coming from. Why the public are like, you know what, there is a story behind this thing. This thing just didn't happen like this. Initially, they said it was a hair infection. He died of a hair infection. And then shortly after that, we were hearing things about, oh, he was stabbed with a poison knife. So many kind of stories surrounding this thing. And at some point, oh, he is the music gods. Too many conspiracy around the death of this guy. But we all know that something is not right. You understand what I'm trying to say? We all know that something is not right, but because if it was something that people could just be like, oh, maybe, and then especially this DNA thing. If your hands are clean for some reason, even if the child doesn't belong to MOHBAD, as a woman, people make mistakes like, oh, well, I was with him, I was people, I don't know, yeah, like, okay, oh, maybe some, like, just come out straight. At this point, lying can't help. It can't help. This case has gone too far. Lying can't do anything anymore at this point. Just come out straight. The man, this lady is actually fighting with the wrong man. Honestly, this is the only person that can save him, because the forgiveness of the death of this guy is only in his hands. Only MOHBAD that can be like, I'm not pressing charges anymore. This guy has died. I want him to go and rest. You know what? Whoever has done to him, okay, I leave them to God. Like he did in the first place, because he never knew he could get all of this support he's getting right now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, to me, I feel like whatever evidence we've got, we can present it to BàRßT now. Where the cases are, that's where we can, get way forward. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, please, I'm not sure. I know, we're all enjoying what you're saying, like all these questions that you're bringing on and all that. Because at the end of the day, I don't want us to give these other people, chances of saying, oh, did we not say this? Oh, did we not say? Trying to see ways of, defending what is not. Because this thing is quite evident. You understand? So please, I don't know, like, well, it's up to you, but this is just my personal view, because there is nothing to cover up here anymore. Honestly, let's just go with the flow of things now. All right? Thank you.
Yeah. I think Bossman is not.
I'm here. I'm still here. I'm trying to look for a page name. Don't with me. I'm trying to jot down different pages I want to read out for us, because I want us to, in case of some of us that doesn't know that you don't have a copy of a CTC. This CTC has really helped us. All right, and I'm not going to lie to you. There are a lot of wrong narratives that those people have been going to the inquests have been. There's a part that they were over too exaggerated, and there's some part that they did not even tell us that we found out on the CTC, because CTC is to give us exactly what was asked and they answered, and so I want to be reading from 238, where the question WUNMI 238. Page 238. If you have a copy of the CTC on you, please can you just Open to 238. When they asked for me, on the page 238, Wunmi was being cross-examined, and then I asked her a question. The lawyer asked her a question, and then she answered. She said, the question is, let me ask you, from that scene of the accident, you said the blood was not really gushing, just a drop? Wunmi answered. Wunmi is the wife of the deceased. She said, I did not notice until he got to the room to meet me. And they answered, when he got to the room, was the blood still gushing? Wunmi said, it wasn't. It wasn't. Wunmi answered that it wasn't. I already used my baby cotton wool. And the questioner again, how did you have a bed sheet soaked with blood? And Wunmi said,
please, hold on, please. Can I chip in something before, because I will soon step up. This thing you just read, yeah? When I was analyzing to someone, that picture where we saw the blood stain, I said that cloth could actually even be, when they call it, is it Oshuka or something, when you're tying a baby. You all know when you back a baby, there's this kind of...
Oja, they call it Oja.
Thank you very much. It's called Oja. Some people use Ashoke, some use all these folds, something like a folds, and that's what is on MOHBAD's neck. So now she has even confirmed it on CTC. If you pay attention to what she said, she used her son's cloth. Please read that part again. Go a bit backwards. That she used it to stop the blood. Read it again, please.
She said she used a cotton wool, a baby's cotton wool. Baby's cotton wool.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Please go on.
Baby cotton
What's
wool.
the lie?
Okay, let me read the question. Let me take the question again. I ask her, let me ask you, from that scene of the incident, you said the blood was not really gushing, just a drop? And Wunmi answered, I didn't notice until we got to the room to meet me. Question. When he got to the room, was the blood still gushing? Wunmi answered, it wasn't. I already used my baby's cotton wool. And the questioner again, how did you have a bed sheet soaked with blood? Wunmi answered, the bed sheet? Nothing was soaked with blood, ma. It was just a hand that he slept till the next day. His mother, or was it his brother? Okay, Hold on. There's a mistake here. His mother, or was it his brother, used the bed? Okay, his mother, or was it his brother that used the bed sheet to sleep, for like a week after my husband died? It was not really gushing. It was just a normal stain. And they asked her, who broke the news of his death in the car? Wunmi answered, I was not in the car with them. Question, my lord, that would be all, okay? They asked who broke the news in the car. That was when they said MOHBAD is there. Wunmi claimed that she was not in the car with them. So back to this. I'm actually want to talk about the blood in the car. Wunmi claimed that she did not realize that MOHBAD's hand was gushing out. That blood was gushing out of his hand. See, the police need to be thoroughly investigated as well, because we realize that the police are not helping out. They are the one that caused the situation right here that we have right now. That is why every community, every citizen of Nigeria put this cause of MOHBAD on themselves. We are the press, we are the journalists, we are the police, we are the investigator, we are the judge. That's why we remain the jury on the case of MOHBAD. We are the citizens, the concerned citizens, put this whole thing on ourselves to find out the truth, because we do not even trust the police, we do not trust the authority, because they messed up this case for ourselves. So we decided to unravel the KPAII of MOHBAD. That is why we do not have the might. We took over the social media space to unravel the death. And it's been on this case for the past 10 months and some change. And we will not stop talking until we are able to get justice for MOHBAD. Now, I just read the CTC. How is it possible in the preliminary statement of the police, if you can't read, see, we are recapping, and we are reading from the CTC to debunk what the wife of the deceased, every one of them in the house, and even the police have said. There are a lot of discrepancies in all these things, and even the result of the toxicology came out inconclusive. And there's a lot of discrepancy in that statement, in that exam, in that result as well. So now, how is it possible for WUNMI to say that she did not notice that the blood was gushing out of the hand of MOHBAD? And she said it was just a drop. And normally, in the result of the CTC, the inconclusive one, they said that it was how many percentage wounds did they find in the CTC, please?
They said a superficial wound with 1.6 centimeter
1.6 centimeter.
Yep.
Do you know how deep 1.6 centimeter is? If it was a wound, if it was a stab wound, that means it goes in, right? How long, deep can 1 centimeter goes? Is it possible to go? Is it possible to touch the tissue or just the surface of the skin normally?
Definitely, it will touch deep in the skin, and it also depends on the angle as well. It could penetrate deep if it's on a soft tissue, like where you have like the neck. You understand? Mm-hmm. That side now, we all know that we don't have a deep tissue, like a thick one, like when we have in the femur, like the thigh side. So it's different. So it's possible it's on the neck, or there was a stab on maybe a major artery.
Exactly. So now, WUNMI claimed that that she did not notice the blood of MOHBAD. That blood was gushing out of his hand, and you were in the car, the same car with MOHBAD. You drove home, and you did not notice that blood was gushing out of his hand of MOHBAD. I think we need to talk into that part as well. I'm also looking into the.
Can I correct you there? She said she drove home with the taxi, but on the way to the hospital, definitely she claimed she was in the car, and that's where she would have seen bleeding. Do you understand? So she was inside that car. There was a part where she said she entered with the nurse.
No. I'm talking about this one is that I'm talking about is that after the show they were going home, that she did not notice the wound on the way home. That's when they're asking her that. Okay, after she's saying that she did not notice that there was blood on his hand until when MOHBAD came to his room to meet her in the room, and MOHBAD wanted to lap you. You remember she said that in the CTC? That MOHBAD. Okay, maybe I should go further to you guys. They asked. Yeah. This question was after the show, when they got home. She said that she did not notice the hand of MOHBAD, that blood was gushing out on the hand of MOHBAD until when MOHBAD came to knock on the door, using the jibami to knock on the door. You remember that part, or you want me to explain further? Namely,
I would advise you read further for other people that are on the neutral side. If I agree with you, they'll say, oh, you people are still, we're on the neutral page. So please read a bit of them to understand.
Another thing is, when the police read the statement that he bled profusely, where did that statement come from? At least somebody must have given a testimony that MOHBAD bled profusely before the police could actually read that out publicly. So that's why I would agree that the police need to be investigated as well. So because right now it seems like that statement doesn't exist anymore. But somebody must have given that, as part of their statement initially, that MOHBAD bled profusely, But right now there's nothing like that anymore. You see?
Keep talking. I'm trying to look for another point to talk about. So, in what we've said so far, if any one of us want to add one or two things to debunk, or you want to say something, please, you can feel free to unmute your mic and then say something.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Papa, good afternoon.
What's on? I see you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to ask, let me say, is it a question of a clarity or something? Now, they claim that KPAII on their way to the hospital, blah, 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 inside the car. I want to ask, at what point, at what time, around what time they did KPAII inside the car when the car was not moving? That's one. Two is they said they called Baba on Tuesday and told him to go back before his instinct said, let me go. He got to the house, he didn't see him. He went to where they usually talk. explain what I'm saying. Before they said it was downstairs. Now, was it that in the morning or in the afternoon, when something happened to him, they rushed him to the hospital, and on their way going there or their way coming back home, they took him home? Because their story is not clear.
No, I didn't know at all.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because their story is not clear. Now, someone is sick or something happened to him. You took him to the hospital. He died on the road. He died on the road, for example. Definitely should go to the hospital, and the hospital it's BODO, and they will give him something. They will give you guys certificate of stuff, and you call the father. Let's say they were in the hospital when they called the father. Now it's another thing. But you guys were at home, and you called the father. Because I don't understand this their whole scenario and this their story, and it's not clear. And like the other day when she was trying to list out their claims, almost like 11 claims we could figure out. We are just begging them to just come out and just tell us what really happened. And Kevin Talks has said it already. Come out and say this is what happened. When you tell us this is what happened, we would definitely, you won't charge you much. I just hope we'll definitely get this justice, and we are very close. We are just like 80% to this justice, and we'll get it before the end of this year, and before the 1 year for MOHBAD, by God's grace.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yorinde, for that one. Well, if you look at all of these things, there's one question I always ask myself, while we are waiting for Bossman to go through to the CTC so that we can talk more on it. Now, my own first question is this. It might look awkward, but I've been asking the same question since September. The question is, is there a hospital in all of these things at all? Is there a hospital in all of these things at all? Because this looks more like a script. Now, somebody's going to say, yes, the hospital came out and they made a statement. Anybody can make a statement. You get Bola, if you need the access bank, just DM me. I will send the access bank account to you. Because if you look at the car, just like Bossman said, the car was stationary. It wasn't moving. In fact, there was this, is it like DJ Pami now, beside the car. If the car was moving, and there was a tree behind the car. So all of these things, I think, in my own opinion, I'm not ruling out that narrative, you understand? I am thinking there was never a hospital in any of these things. In all of these things, there is no hospital. They didn't take that guy to the hospital. Everything happened in that house. The car was parked in the street or inside a compound, and it was planned. I'm not going to say it was well planned. It wasn't well planned, because if it was well planned, we wouldn't be seeing all of these things. That's why I always say there is no perfect crime. I always say there's no perfect crime. Everything happened in that house allegedly. Now let's use the word allegedly. He died on Monday. The woman got to know. The woman, MOHBAD, was in that house on Monday. She was taken back to Ikorodu or something, maybe that same Monday night or maybe Tuesday morning or something. Because now this is it. If he died, if he pined on Tuesday, as at 3 something that they claim, if he pined around that time, how long did it take the lawyer to get into that house? Is the lawyer living next? Maybe the lawyer is their neighbor. The two are fast that were in that house, coming all the way from Ikorodu or somewhere. Or are they also living in Lekki? All of the artists that were in that house when Baba got there, how far is their house to this thing? Were they already there before? Were they already expecting all of these things to happen in the first place so that they would just drive down there? If Baba met about 100 people in that place, how was it easy for them to gather 100 people in that place without Baba getting to know? So this thing, that's what we're still going to use the word allegedly, right? Happened on Monday. They are just looking for all way to clear off all of the evidences. Now, the so-called artist who sent money to Baba Mohbad, you understand, the money was later sent to Darusa. He didn't send the money to Baba Mohbad, I'm sorry for that. He wanted to send the money to Baba Mohbad. Baba Mohbad said, you should send the money to Darusa. Now, if it happened 3 something, blah, 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 how come this guy that is not even in that house got to know that this guy is already there, to the extent of thinking, let me send them 2 million naira. The thought of, okay, the information getting to him, one, how long was it that immediately something happened? That was when they called in, hello, this guy is gone. Because who are the family members that they called first in all of these things as it happened? Now, if Iya is claiming she didn't know, or maybe it was a Tuesday, why did it take them long to call Iya? Why did they call Iya and not Baba?
Good question.
Why didn't they call Baba? Because they want to claim now, sideline the man and put everything on the man because of maybe placenta and all of these things. Why did they have to call Iya? And when they want to settle fight, they call Baba to come and settle the fight for them. Now, we have different narratives, but the one that I'm actually thinking about critically is that there was never an hospital in all of these things. I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing something somewhere. I think everything happened in that house, in that compound, in that street, and it didn't leave their particular estate. Everything happened in that particular place. That is what I am thinking. Yeah, I'm not saying it's.
I don't even think they went to any hospital, ish. Yeah. I don't think they went to any hospital. Like maybe the hospital is just playing along or something. Exactly. I would actually advise Baba to, visit the hospital and request, or probably Berekete can call the hospital to find out what they know.
Exactly. Exactly. Maybe these are the things that we also see. Yeah.
To add to what you said, if you look at the picture or the video where the boy first screamed, Mohbad is dead, Mohbad is dead, there was a cloth, a shirt, striped shirt beside him. At what point in time did they change into 3? Meaning there was someone else that now that's when the guy that screamed Mohbad is dead now moved to that end of the window before they became 3. So they had time to play their script. If you look at that video, Mohbad is dead, Mohbad is dead. If they were already on emotion, they shouldn't have a shirt hanging at the back seat. That space was empty then. That's why you had Mohbad head on the chair, where his head should have been elevated. So you see that they scripted it. For me, I feel that they saw the blood thing. They had to quickly reshoot the movie again. That's why you had the other boys, when they were now talking again. I think that's when they turned Mohbad to the other side, to his brother's side. If you look at the second video where you had the 3 of them's face showing Mohbad is dead. So for me, it's possible. It all happened on a Monday. They shot the video so that then they will now take Mohbad to the hospital. It's possible there was hospital on Tuesday, but Mohbad, that's why they did the local embalming. They rushed Mohbad to the hospital on Tuesday, and Mohbad was, registered, brought in a rigor motive. Yeah. And that's my own. You understand? They've planned everything, because how come the lawyer was able to be at the ground in less than 48 hours? How come there was the mom and all that? Because the father testified, allegedly that he testified that he saw those people there.
Now, let's also ask another question, right? Because all of this is not adding up. And that will be the reason why this case is going to be won by the justice fighter. Because I said something yesterday, their inconsistency is the key to our own victory in all of this now. Not like we are trying to nail anybody or something. Now, why is it that in all these things that happen in the show, driving home, getting home, calling the nurse arriving, Mohbad vomiting, rushing him into the car? Now, those are like 7 scenarios now. Now, let me come again now. Let me come again, right? Now, number 1, at the show, driving home, getting home, calling the nurse arriving, Mohbad vomiting, the moment when they were carrying Mohbad into the car, why is it that no video of this is available? Where Mohbad was vomiting, there is no video. Where the nurse came back, there was no video. Where the show, there is no video. When they came back home, there is no video. And as a matter of fact, Mohbad's photographer that always follow him to every program needs to be questioned. He was on duty that day. He should provide the videos of everything that happened, because if I've never seen an artist before, I've always seen documentaries of artists when they were performing the show, after the show, when they got home, the way they were playing and all of those things. Why is it that no video is available for every one of these like 6 particular things that I have mentioned? The video that we only have is just like an 8 seconds video showing Mohbad is dead, Mohbad is dead, Mohbad is dead.
Exactly.
Why is there no video for all of these particular scenarios? Why don't we? It's just only that one. If it was not pre-planned, everything was planned, then they came in and they just made a short video. Let's just do this video to announce that he is off. So this thing is not like, just like Bossman said earlier on, some couple of minutes ago, it's not like we're just trying to pin anybody down or something. No, that is not our joy. Our joy is not to even see somebody go off or something, maybe, but our joy is to get justice for Mohbad. But in getting justice for Mohbad, we need to ask important questions, and such as this kind of questions that we are asking now. We know we've been talking about this thing for the past like 9 months. We're talking about it, but at the end of the day, we're not going to stop talking about it until we get the justice, because the inconsistency is just too much. Who knows the next person? Who knows the next person that this thing is going to happen to? But so as to avoid something like that from happening again, that's the reason why we are gathered together for the past 9 to 10 months now, talking about this particular subject. Justice for Mohbad is a must. We have to get the justice for Mohbad. All the necessary authorities need to step up their games and do the right thing. We know if they want to do the big thing, they want to do it, they're going to do it. They want to do the right thing, they're going to do the right thing. In the world, at least in one way or the other, Nigerian police are one of the smartest police in the world if they really want to do the right thing. Look at the case of that particular lady in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, who went to visit her boyfriend. She got there, the boyfriend off her, and after the boyfriend off her, the boyfriend pieces body part into whatever. And when they opened the boyfriend's house and they opened the door, they discovered that this guy has a big freezer where he is storing this thing. The Nigerian police detected that. They did a very fantastic job. But why is it taking Mohbad case eternity to get justice? Well, we're not going to stop talking about it. We're definitely going to keep talking about it. All of these videos need to be presented. I am sure there are videos somewhere. Now, let me tell you the next thing that is going on now. The next thing that is going on now is that any implicating video, they go on a site to delete the videos that might be implicating. So if you are a true justice fighter, you have a video with you, just keep it with you. That's what they do now. They go from one place to another. Anywhere they see that probably the video that can be, used as an evidence, they tend to say.
Thank you for confirming that. Because I experienced it as well. I noticed and have.
Please keep all those videos. Don't go to link anymore. Any link you see, screenshot that video. Screen record the video and keep it.
Yeah.
Record or put it on your archive. I just find another thing again. Before I read out from the CTC, I want us to have a recap, and I want us to be paying attention to this. Like I said, like each chick just said, we're not to nail anybody. We're not here to nail. We are just the truth. We're not here to nail anyone. And ever since I've been talking about justice for Mohbad, I have never bashed the wife of the deceased. I have never said any derogatory word against the wife of the deceased. I stand for truth. I stand for justice for Mohbad, and that's what we stand for. I don't believe in dragging or believe in bashing the wife. But she needs to come out and clear this part, and that's just it. And even if some of our supporters that believe that she's innocent and all that, we don't need to fight among ourselves. If we want to have a constructive debate or conversation, we can always have that without it learning to bashing or dragging or, I don't really want to engage in that. Now, back to this. According to the CTC, different people, different analyses. They said Mohbad he punched through the window of an SUV. He sustained an injury in there. The wife just said, which I just read to you, every one of us, said that Mohbad sustained an injury and that she did not see any injury until Mohbad got to the house and was knocking on his door and came to her room. That was when he saw the hand bleeding and it was not gushing like that, just a little bit drops. And she used cotton wool of his baby cotton wool to clean the body's hand, and she used rub to massage the hand, which the police claim that was gushing. Can a drop or a rub stop a gushing blood? Can a rub, Chinese balm, stop a gushing blood the way they painted it? Where did the police get that gushing word from? When they said gushing out, bleeding profusely, they said bleeding profusely. Exactly, yeah, profusely bleeding. Where did they get that word from? All right, WUNMI said it was not bleeding profusely; it was just a little drop. And then she did not, that to the point that she did not even notice that the blood that Mohbad sustained any injury until when Mohbad came into the room, and the hand was not swollen. All this word, I'm saying all this word because I'm going somewhere. Every little word I say to you today has a reason why I'm saying it. I'm giving and I'm stressing some word because I'm trying to read some things to you so that you will be able to channel what I've been saying so far. This is the foundation of what I'm saying because I'm taking you somewhere. Now, they said they invited a nurse on Tuesday, and when the nurse came, the nurse gave Mohbad anti-tetanus injection.
Bossman, they didn't invite the nurse on Tuesday. They invited the nurse on Monday. That was what
I said, according to the CTC now.
Yes, they invited the nurse on Monday, but the nurse
on Monday, but the nurse did not come until Tuesday. But the nurse arrived on Tuesday, and it was the nurse that gave Mohbad anti-tetanus injection. They claimed that Mohbad reacted because of that injection. All right? That was on Tuesday when the nurse arrived to the house. Now, I'm going to read one thing for you guys, and it's going to shock you. It's going to shock you. Now, this is during the cross-examination of DJ BAMI. DJ BAMI. I'm going to be reading from the page 74 during the cross-examination of DJ BAMI. WUNMI claimed, before I read, WUNMI claimed that she did not notice any injury or any blood stain from the body of Mohbad until Mohbad came to the room. Is that what? Well, that's what we just read out. I read out to you guys from the CTC, right? Now, if you have the CTC in you, you can turn with me to the page 74, and I will read now. The question by me. The question aimed that coming back to Ikorodu after the show, you said Mohbad sustained injury. Can you describe the size of the injury and the level of the blood gushing out? What was it? A big cut? DJ BAMI answered, it was a small cut, but the hand was swollen by the time we got home. Can you please always underline that word? By the time they got home, that means before they traveled from Ikorodu to the house, the hand got swollen. The hand did not swell up on the next day, according to the wife of the deceased. The wife of the deceased said that Mohbad's hands was okay, just a cut wound, but the hand, Mohbad slept like a baby because they slept together, and their own baby was in the middle, and Mohbad slept very well. Nothing happened. The hand started swelling up the next day. Please, if I'm right, tell me, Bossman, you are right, so that I will know that you guys are with me.
Yeah, both statement contradicts.
Exactly. So now, this BAMI making us to understand that the hand was swollen the same day before they got home. All right, let me continue reading. He answered, said it was a small cut, but the hand was swollen by the time we got home. But it was still bringing out blood. And when we got home, we were looking at the wound and talking about what happened at the show. And we were like, it is a glass injury and he will need tetanus. I repeat, he will need tetanus for it. And that was why we called the nurse. So now, underline that part, each talk, that they will need tetanus. So it was not the nurse that brought the tetanus injection. So before they invited the nurse, they have already concluded that MOHBAD will need tetanus injection. They have already concluded that MOHBAD will need tetanus injection on that hand before they even spoke to the nurse. So, should we not say that please underline my word carefully because I have to think before I say anything, I make any statement out. Should we not say that you people claim that when you got home, the hand was already swollen, blood was gushing out? So if we claim that the hand was swollen and was dripping out blood, WUNMI said she was in the car, the same car that drove MOHBAD, she was already in there, and DJ BAMI that was in the other vehicle noticed that MOHBAD's hand was swollen. WUNMI claimed that she did not see that blood, that MOHBAD that was sitting beside beside her. She did not see the blood. She did not see the hand swollen. So it took DJ BAMI that was in the other vehicle to notice that MOHBAD's hand was swollen. WUNMI claimed that she did not notice the hand of MOHBAD gushing or bleeding and swollen. In fact, she said MOHBAD's hand did not swell, that there was no sudden swelling up, that the hand swelled up the next day. And DJ BAMI said the hand got swollen before they got home. And when they got home, they concluded that this hand will need anti-tetanus injection. I just read it out word for word to you guys, what was written in the CTC. So you guys are not saying that you guys did not speak to the nurse. You all concluded that the hand will need tetanus injection before you guys even made a move to call the nurse. That tetanus injection was already concluded before they called the nurse. That is where I'm going to. They have already concluded that MOHBAD will need anti-tetanus or tetanus injection before they called the nurse. That is the word I'm trying to say. Then they asked nurse that we invited the nurse, and they said he had his own personal nurse, and we got home Sunday midnight, and I called on Monday morning, and she said she was not available, and I said, just blah, 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 we don't need that. Where I am driving at is that they have been talking about a tetanus injection. That very night, immediately they got home, the e-stock. So now, the police said, and the nurse claimed that she only gave 3 injections. Anti-tetanus injection, antibiotics, and which other injection was given to MOHBAD? BARŠT. According to the police preliminary statement, they said they picked 6 syringes. So if the nurse says that she gave 3 injection syringes to MOHBAD, what about the elder empty 3 pieces of the syringes? Should we not say that MOHBAD has been injected before the nurse arrived at the house?
There is in that particular place of the injection, they said something there, but I've forgotten what they actually said in that place. According to the investigation of the police, I think they said 3 used injection. They now said something. Let me just try and go over the video again on YouTube. That is if you have not brought it down. Let me go over.
I think they mentioned some used syringes that they caught in the house as well. Maybe everything going to like 5 or so.
Exactly.
Everything going to like 5, used and unused.
Exactly. There were other 3 syringes. Different